Michelangelo Buonarroti, 1475–1564. Michelangelo Buonarroti was an Italian Renaissance artist whose work redefined the possibilities of sculpture. His masterpieces, such as David and the Pietà, showcase his extraordinary ability to convey human emotion and physical perfection through marble. David, a colossal statue of the biblical hero, exemplifies the ideal human form and embodies the spirit of the Renaissance with its emphasis on anatomical accuracy and heroic individualism. The Pietà, depicting Mary holding the dead body of Jesus, is renowned for its delicate beauty and emotional depth. Michelangelo's sculpture is characterized by its dynamic poses and intense realism. He believed that the figure was already present within the block of marble and his job was merely to reveal it. This technique, known as non finito, left parts of the sculpture unfinished to highlight the raw, unworked stone, suggesting an ongoing struggle between form and material. Michelangelo's work not only influenced his contemporaries but also set a standard for future generations of artists, making him one of the most significant figures in art history. His ability to imbue stone with life and emotion remains unparalleled, demonstrating a profound understanding of human anatomy and psychology. Auguste Rodin, 1840–1917. Auguste Rodin was a French sculptor whose innovative approach to form and texture revolutionized modern sculpture. His famous works, such as The Thinker and The Kiss, explore complex human emotions and physicality. The Thinker, originally part of a larger composition called The Gates of Hell, depicts a man deep in contemplation, embodying the intellectual struggle and the weight of human thought. The Kiss, a tender and passionate embrace, captures the intensity of love and desire. Rodin's style is marked by its expressive realism and rough, textured surfaces. He often left parts of his sculptures unfinished, allowing the raw material to convey a sense of movement and vitality. This approach broke away from the smooth, idealized forms of classical sculpture, bringing a new level of emotional depth and realism to his work. Rodin's sculptures were groundbreaking in their portrayal of the human experience, focusing on the inner turmoil and passions that define our existence. His work paved the way for modernist movements, influencing countless artists to explore new techniques and themes. Rodin's legacy lies in his ability to capture the essence of the human condition in a way that feels both timeless and profoundly personal.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more topics you love.
Gian Lorenzo Bernini, 1598–1680. Gian Lorenzo Bernini was an Italian Baroque sculptor known for his dynamic and dramatic works. His sculptures, such as Apollo and Daphne and Ecstasy of Saint Teresa, are celebrated for their intricate detail and lifelike movement. Apollo and Daphne captures the moment Daphne transforms into a laurel tree to escape Apollo, with each leaf and strand of hair meticulously carved to convey motion. The Ecstasy of Saint Teresa depicts the mystical experience of Saint Teresa being pierced by an angel's arrow, blending spiritual ecstasy with physical realism. Bernini's work is characterized by its theatricality and ability to convey intense emotion. He was a master of capturing the fleeting moment, using intricate details and dramatic poses to bring his subjects to life. His sculptures often integrate multiple materials, such as marble and bronze, to enhance the visual impact and create a sense of narrative. Bernini's contributions to sculpture and architecture during the Baroque period were immense, transforming Rome with his dynamic and emotive works. His ability to blend realism with dramatic flair set a new standard for artistic expression, making him one of the most influential sculptors in art history. Donatello, circa 1386–1466. Donatello was an Italian sculptor of the early Renaissance whose innovative techniques and expressive works laid the foundation for modern sculpture. His famous pieces, such as David and Gattamelata, showcase his mastery of form and ability to convey complex human emotions. David, the first freestanding nude statue since antiquity, represents a youthful, victorious David standing over Goliath's head, capturing a moment of quiet triumph. Gattamelata, an equestrian statue of the condottiero Erasmo da Narni, combines classical influences with a realistic portrayal of power and dignity. Donatello's work is marked by its attention to detail and use of perspective. He was one of the first sculptors to employ linear perspective in his relief work, creating a sense of depth and realism. His innovative use of materials, such as bronze and marble, allowed him to explore new textures and forms, pushing the boundaries of what sculpture could achieve. Donatello's influence on Renaissance art was profound, inspiring future generations of artists to explore new techniques and perspectives. His ability to blend classical traditions with a modern sense of realism and emotion made him a pivotal figure in the history of art, setting the stage for the achievements of his successors. Henry Moore, 1898–1986. Henry Moore was a British sculptor renowned for his large-scale abstract forms, often inspired by the human body and natural landscapes. His work, such as Reclining Figure and Large Two Forms, is characterized by its organic shapes and smooth, flowing lines. Reclining Figure explores the human form in a simplified, almost primal manner, while Large Two Forms presents an abstract interplay of mass and void, encouraging viewers to engage with the space around and within the sculpture. Moore's sculptures are often monumental in scale, designed to interact with their environment and invite physical engagement. He drew inspiration from a variety of sources, including ancient and non-Western art, which is evident in the primitive and timeless quality of his work. Moore's use of materials such as bronze, stone, and wood allowed him to explore different textures and effects, adding depth and complexity to his forms. Henry Moore's impact on modern sculpture is immense, as he redefined the relationship between sculpture and space. His work encourages viewers to see sculpture not just as static objects, but as dynamic forms that interact with their surroundings and evoke a deeper emotional and intellectual response. Constantin Brâncuși, 1876–1957. Constantin Brâncuși was a Romanian sculptor who is considered a pioneer of modernist sculpture. His work, such as Bird in Space and The Kiss, is known for its simplicity and elegance, stripping forms down to their most essential elements. Bird in Space captures the essence of flight with its sleek, elongated form, while The Kiss presents a stylized, intimate embrace, reducing the human figure to geometric shapes. Brâncuși's philosophy of direct carving involved working directly with materials like marble, wood, and bronze without preliminary models, allowing the natural characteristics of the material to guide the final form. This approach emphasized the inherent beauty of the materials and the purity of forms, rejecting the detailed realism of traditional sculpture in favor of abstraction and symbolism. Brâncuși's influence extends beyond sculpture to architecture and design, as his minimalist aesthetic and focus on essential forms have inspired countless artists and movements. His work challenges viewers to see beyond the surface and appreciate the profound simplicity and spiritual resonance of pure forms, making him a seminal figure in the development of modern art. Alberto Giacometti, 1901–1966. Alberto Giacometti was a Swiss sculptor known for his distinctive, elongated human figures that convey a sense of existential isolation and fragility. His works, such as Walking Man and Standing Woman, are characterized by their thin, almost skeletal forms and rough, textured surfaces. Walking Man captures a solitary figure in motion, embodying the essence of human perseverance and uncertainty, while Standing Woman presents a static, introspective presence. Giacometti's sculptures often reflect his philosophical explorations of existence and perception, influenced by existentialist thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre. He sought to capture the essence of human presence in a way that transcended physical appearance, focusing on the emotional and psychological states of his subjects. His use of bronze and plaster allowed him to create tactile, expressive surfaces that enhanced the sense of vulnerability and tension in his figures. Alberto Giacometti's work has had a lasting impact on modern art, highlighting the power of abstraction and gestural expression to convey deep human truths. His sculptures challenge us to confront the complexities of existence and the profound isolation of the human condition, making his work both timeless and deeply resonant. Auguste Renoir, 1841–1919. While primarily known as a painter, Auguste Renoir also created notable sculptures that reflect his impressionist style and sensitivity to form and light. His sculptures, such as Venus Victorious and The Judgment of Paris, often depict classical themes with a modern, impressionist touch. Venus Victorious presents the goddess Venus in a graceful, lifelike pose, capturing the beauty and sensuality that characterize Renoir's work. Renoir's approach to sculpture was informed by his painting techniques, focusing on the play of light and shadow across surfaces to create a sense of movement and vitality. He collaborated with established sculptors like Richard Guinot to translate his painterly vision into three-dimensional forms, resulting in works that combine the fluidity of Impressionism with the solidity of sculpture. Although Renoir's contribution to sculpture is less extensive than his painting, his works in this medium offer a unique perspective on his artistic vision. They demonstrate his ability to capture the ephemeral qualities of light and atmosphere in solid form, bridging the gap between two-dimensional and three-dimensional art and enriching our understanding of his creative genius. Alexander Calder, 1898–1976. Alexander Calder was an American sculptor best known for his innovative kinetic sculptures, or mobiles, which introduced movement into three-dimensional art. His works, such as Lobster Trap and Fish Tale and Black Widow, are characterized by their playful, dynamic forms that move with the slightest breeze. Lobster Trap and Fish Tale is a delicate balance of wire and sheet metal, creating a floating, ever-changing composition that captures the essence of motion. Black Widow, with its intricate web-like structure, showcases Calder's ability to combine engineering with artistic creativity. Calder's mobiles revolutionized the concept of sculpture by incorporating movement as an integral element of the artwork. He also created stabiles, stationary sculptures that often feature bold, abstract shapes and vibrant colors. Calder's use of industrial materials such as wire, steel, and aluminum was innovative, bringing a modern, industrial aesthetic to his work. Calder's influence extends beyond sculpture to the broader fields of art and design. His playful, kinetic creations challenge traditional notions of sculpture as static objects, inviting viewers to engage with art in a dynamic, interactive manner. Calder's work has inspired generations of artists and continues to captivate audiences with its joyful exploration of movement and form. Louise Bourgeois, 1911–2010. Louise Bourgeois was a French-American artist known for her powerful and emotive sculptures, which often explore themes of trauma, sexuality, and the subconscious. Her iconic works, such as Maman and Destruction of the Father, delve into personal and psychological depths. Maman, a giant spider sculpture, represents both protection and fear, reflecting Bourgeois' complex relationship with her mother. Destruction of the Father, a haunting installation, symbolically addresses familial tensions and unresolved childhood issues. Bourgeois sculptures are characterized by their raw emotional intensity and use of diverse materials, including marble, bronze, latex, and fabric. Her work often incorporates organic forms and references to the body, creating a visceral connection with the viewer. Bourgeois drew inspiration from her own experiences and memories, using art as a means of processing and expressing her innermost fears and desires. Louise Bourgeois' work has had a profound impact on contemporary art, particularly in its exploration of psychological and emotional themes. Her fearless approach to personal and often taboo subjects has opened new avenues for artistic expression, making her a pivotal figure in the development of modern sculpture and feminist art. Antoine-Louis Barye, 1796–1875. Antoine-Louis Barye was a French sculptor renowned for his dynamic and realistic animal sculptures. His works, such as Lion Crushing a Serpent and Jaguar Devouring a Hare, are celebrated for their meticulous attention to detail and lifelike depiction of animal anatomy. Lion Crushing a Serpent captures the raw power and tension of a lion in combat, while Jaguar Devouring a Hare portrays the primal intensity of a predator's hunt. Barye's sculptures are distinguished by their dramatic compositions and expressive forms. He had a deep understanding of animal anatomy, which he studied extensively through dissections and observations. This knowledge allowed him to create sculptures that not only captured the physical likeness of his subjects but also conveyed their dynamic energy and spirit. Barye's work represents a synthesis of artistic skill and scientific observation, elevating animal sculpture to new heights. His influence can be seen in the works of later animal sculptors and in the broader field of naturalistic art. Barye's ability to bring his subjects to life with such vivid realism and emotional depth makes him a master of his craft. Jean-Antoine Houdon, 1741–1828. Jean-Antoine Houdon was a French neoclassical sculptor celebrated for his realistic portraits of notable figures, including Voltaire, Benjamin Franklin, and George Washington. Houdon's sculptures, such as the busts of Voltaire and Franklin, are renowned for their lifelike detail and psychological depth. His statue of George Washington, housed in the Virginia state capitol, captures the statesman's dignity and resolve, blending classical ideals with contemporary realism. Houdon's work is characterized by its meticulous craftsmanship and ability to convey the inner character of his subjects. He was a master of capturing subtle facial expressions and intricate details, which brought his portraits to life. Houdon's approach combined classical techniques with a modern sensibility, emphasizing both the physical likeness and the personality of his subjects. Jean-Antoine Houdon's contributions to sculpture are significant in that they bridge the gap between classical tradition and modern portraiture. His work not only provides a vivid historical record of influential figures but also demonstrates the power of sculpture to capture the essence of an individual. Houdon's legacy endures in the timeless quality and profound humanity of his portraits.